This video is brought to you by MacBack. Today we're looking at my top tips, tricks, and hidden features that you probably didn't know about the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now I guarantee these are going to help you get the most out of this incredible phone. But first, as a thank you for all of your incredible support, I am doing a giveaway on this brand new iPhone 15 Pro. Yes, I am doing a giveaway for an iPhone in a Samsung video. Very daring, I know. And if you want a chance to win, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment with your Instagram username, and then follow me on Instagram at Dion Schuddeboom, where I will announce the winner on the 31st of October. Let's get started. Okay, so the S23 Ultra is a big phone, and that's great for viewing content, but sometimes certain parts of the display can be hard to reach. And to fix this, you can use a feature called One-Handed Mode. Now, to activate this in settings, you're going to want to go to Advanced Features and then turn on One-Handed Mode. Now, with a simple swipe down, the entire app window essentially shrinks, and this makes it much easier to reach all four corners, especially when you're using one hand. Now, pro tip, you can also tap the arrow to move the window either to the left or the right side of the display to match the hand you are using, and then use the same swipe down gesture to exit one-handed mode. Now, a much quicker way to navigate your phone is with swipe gestures. Now, to switch two gestures from the button layout, you want to go to settings, then tap on display and tap on navigation bar, and then from here you're going to want to select swipe gestures. Now you can simply swipe up to close an app, or then swipe up and hold to view your open apps, and then my favorite is you can actually swipe to the left and right alongside the bottom of the display to quickly cycle and switch between your most recent open apps. A handy way to quickly access apps, widgets, or even contacts is with the Edge panel. Now, to activate this, you're going to want to go into settings, then tap on display and scroll to where you find Edge panels. And then you want to toggle this on, and then tapping into this menu will allow you to customize. So you can actually choose what you want your Edge panel to show. So I have mine set to show a list of apps, but you can see there's a wide range to choose from. And then if we tap on the handle, you can actually change the appearance of the handle as well as where it is positioned. Now, my advice is to actually have it placed slightly above where you normally swipe from the left and right. That way it doesn't get in the way if, say, you're swiping between photos or pages, but then have it just above that so that it is still easy and within reach to quickly access. I'd say I use the Edge panel most for bringing in a second app for split screen multitasking. Let me show you how this works. So as you can see, if I pull up my Edge panel, I can then click and drag an app out of the Edge panel and drag it to either the top half or the bottom half of the display. And just like that, I'm now running two apps at once. Now, on the subject of running two apps at once, you can actually add an instance of a split screen multitasking to your home screen or even the Edge panel. Now, to do this, you first want to have two apps running and then tap on the three dot menu that you find in the center, and then tap on the heart. Now from here, this will give you the option to add the specific app pair either to your home screen or say to the Edge panel. Now in this case, let's add it to the home screen, and as you can see, a new icon will appear on the home screen. Then just tap on it, and then this will instantly open two apps at once. I think this is perfect if, say, you are browsing the web, say while taking notes, or messaging someone while watching a YouTube video, and leaving a like and subscribing to not miss more videos like this. Smooth, I know. Now, you probably know that you can customize the system toggles by swiping down, tapping on the three dot menu, and then tapping on edit buttons, but there is one function that you cannot add via a button, and that is also a function that I cannot live without. Very dramatic, I know, but that is the brightness control. Now, there's actually a way to have this permanently show in this menu, and to do this, you're going to want to tap on the three dot menu and then click on the quick panel layout, and then from there tap on brightness control and select show always. Now, whenever you swipe down to your system toggles, you can instantly adjust the brightness from there. This video is mostly software related, but there are a few hardware accessories from MacBack that I want to share. Now, MacBack create functional accessories for your S23 Ultra, starting here with the MacBack Case. Now, here I have it in this sleek black color, and it's made of this really impact absorbent silicone material that is actually drop tested for up to 6 feet. Now, what is also cool is that the MacBack Case brings MagSafe functionality to your S23 Ultra, and this gives you access to a range of accessories, also allowing for easy wireless charging. No need to carefully align your phone, just place it, the magnets will align, and it will automatically charge. But here's the best part, the MacBack Case is also compatible with MagSticks, and this means you can basically mount your S23 Ultra to any surface by just adding a MagStick. Think, for example, a dashboard, a kitchen, or a wall. Plus, if the surface is already metallic, like say a fridge, you can just place the case to mount. The array of magnets inside the case also let you add accessories like this tan leather wallet over here, which is great because it will instantly attach to the back of the case. And since MacBack use more magnets than traditional MagSafe, the magnetic strength is actually far superior. In fact, 2 to 3 times stronger, which is especially important for a wallet. I especially like how the wallet can also act as a stand and has a nice loop in the back for added grip. Now the wallet itself can hold up to 6 cards or cards and cash thanks to having dual pockets. To learn more about MacBack, be sure to click the links in the description and use code Dion Schuddeboom 15 off for 15% off your order. Now I want to share the top 3 use cases for the S Pen, a more powerful tool than you may think. First, if you remove the S Pen while your phone is off, you can instantly start writing on the display to quickly jot down, say, a name, a number, or an idea. And then these notes will automatically be stored in the Samsung Notes app. Number 2, in the Calendar app, if you tap on the pencil icon in the top right, you can then pinch to zoom and then actually draw or write directly on the calendar. Old school, I know, but I actually found it to be super fast to quickly say note down an appointment or a meeting. And number 3, the S Pen can actually act as a really useful camera tool. For example, if say your phone is locked, you can press and hold on the side button to open up the camera app. And then once the app is open, you can double press to flip the camera and then press once to take a photo or press and hold to take a burst. Now, having a remote shutter is especially great if say you place your phone somewhere to get that group photo. Now, if you're like me and keep your phone on silent most of the time, this tip will be especially useful. If we go to settings and then tap on sound and vibration and then tap on vibration intensity, you can actually change the vibration intensity depending on what kind of notification or alert comes in. Now, as you can see, I've set mine to be more prominent for calls and notifications such as messages and less strong for system-related alerts. This way, even if my phone is in my pocket, I can gauge whether the vibration is worth checking in the moment or whether it's something I can get back to later. A feature you only need to set up once and that can benefit from every day is called modes and routines, particularly a sleep mode, which essentially changes how your phone reacts to incoming notifications or calls depending on the time of day, and this all works in the background. So let's set up a mode together. Now first, in settings, you're going to want to scroll down to where you find modes and routines, and then from the list choose sleep or select the add more button at the bottom and tap sleep if it's not listed. Now first, we can choose when the mode activates and also on which day of the week. So I have mine set to run from 11 p.m. all the way up to 6 a.m. and have it run every day. And then we're going to tap on next, and then here you want to make sure to toggle do not disturb. Now this is essentially going to block all incoming notifications, and then beneath that we can also add exceptions, which is crucial as of course there are some notifications from certain people that I want to come in no matter what time of day or night. For example, if we tap on call and messages, you can add a select list of contacts, say a significant other, immediate family, or close friends from who you still want to receive messages. And then beneath that, we have a specific menu for calls where you can also opt to only allow calls from specific contacts, which I have done. Plus, you can also activate a feature called repeat calls. Now, this means the first call will be silenced, but the second call will come through. I always say to those closest to me, if ever you call and I don't answer, either because I'm in a meeting or say I'm sleeping, if you then call again, I will assume it's urgent and then do all I can to answer that call. So this way, repeat calls or that second call will always come through. Very important. And then we're going to tap on next, and here you can also change the appearance of the display when sleep mode is activated. So for example, I turn on eye comfort shield, which adds sort of an orange tinge to the screen to help reduce the amount of blue light, which can help with sleep quality. From there, we go ahead and tap done, and now your sleep mode has been set up and will automatically start and stop according to the schedule that we set up earlier and completely runs in the background. Essentially, this should help you no longer wake up by notifications that are completely unnecessary. Now there is one key security feature that I encourage everyone to set up, and that is called Auto Factory Reset. Now to enable this, you're going to want to go into settings and then tap on lock screen and then secure lock settings. Then type in your password and then activate Auto Factory Reset. Now what this does is if say your phone is ever lost or stolen, chances are the person that finds it or has stolen it is going to try to access your phone by guessing your password. However, this way, after 20 incorrect password attempts, the S23 Ultra will essentially automatically reset itself and erase all of your data. This means that even if your phone is no longer with you and no longer safe, your data still will be. So those are my top tips and tricks for the S23 Ultra. Let me know if you have any questions at all, or if you have any additional tips that you'd like to share. I'd love to hear from you. Be sure to stay tuned for my S23 Ultra versus iPhone 15 Pro Max comparison video coming very soon, so be sure to subscribe to not miss that. And for now, why not check out my review of the Galaxy Fold 5, a really impressive phone, but one that I also have many thoughts on. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.